Hiya! Welcome! Sat down again today because we've got another vinyl box set unboxing to do today. This one is something that has been out now, I think since about 2019, to coincide with certain record labels' 40th anniversary. You'll know what I'm referring to from the thumbnail and the title, but just play along with me. I was looking on Dig Music, the record buying website that used to be the UK arm of Rhino Records before they rebranded a few years ago. And it's now the 45th anniversary of this particular label, and they were offering up to 45% off related bits of merchandise for the label in question, including this box set here. So I looked on there, and the price for this, and it's an 8 LP box set, it's quite a heavy thing here, was around £85 something, which I thought was pretty good. It wasn't a 45% discount, but it was a decent one. Original retail price well over 100. But then I thought, well, I'll look on eBay just to see if anyone's selling it any cheaper, and yes, they were. I think this was the best offer, but I managed to get this for, including some in postage, £75. So £10 cheaper than at Dig Music, and this is brand new and sealed as well. So let's get it open. So this is a box set that has sort of tempted me a little bit, but the reason I decided to start looking for it again recently, not just because I'd seen it at Dig Music on a bit of a discount, but also I was looking at the Instagram for vinyl community member Rob Walker. Shout out to Rob. And he was listening to this, and some of his Instagram posts, he posted some pictures. As you can see, it's come nicely bubble wrapped, well protected, and I thought for £75 this was a really good deal. I mean, that works out at what, under £10 per album, as there's 8 discs in here. Just put my knife out of the way. And the last box set that I bought, which I only unboxed on the channel a couple of weeks or so back, was the Enya Box of Dreams. Fantastic, really nice, high quality set, but to say there's only 6 discs, 3 double albums in it, it's quite expensive. This is about £100 cheaper, and it's got more in it, but you can't really compare. I wanted the Enya set, I wanted that when it came out. This one, I've got some things that are on here, but the majority of this I don't have, and we'll go through everything that's on it, of course, as we get it open. But I'm talking about the Factory Communications 1978 to 1992 8 LP box set. Very nice indeed. So Factory Records, the home of, predominantly as far as I'm concerned as a music fan, New Order and Joy Division, but they're also home to other bands of the late 70s into the 80s and early 90s, like Happy Mondays. James were on there for a little time. I'll be going through some of the acts on the label because they'll be featured on this set, so I won't sit here just reeling off a load of band names. But I'm just such a massive fan of the whole mythos and the whole story and history behind Factory Records from Manchester. And this is a set that, although it wasn't an essential purchase for me, because I think I probably would have bought it when it came out, better late than never, a few years after it's come out. And as you can see, totally new set this as well, never even been opened, which we're going to do now, and I can show you. Have a look at the back there, very minimal as you would expect from Factory, and then the front kind of riffs on the original Factory Records event poster that was designed by Peter Saville for the first ever Factory night at the Russell Club in Hume near Manchester. So let's get this open. Probably use my knife again, as long as I'm careful, just to start making a bit of a hole in the cellophane. No hype stick or anything on this, so I can be pretty carefree with the cellophane. It's a heavy set. I mean, there's 8 LPs in it, so it's bound to be. The top lid comes off. There we go. Quite similar to the New Order Definitive Edition sets, this. It's kind of that same sort of lidded box sort of thing with the, I was going to say a felt interior, but it's not actually. It's just black card. so far so relatively premium, I would say. So on top, now this was something that really excited me. Unlike the Enya set, which didn't come with any additional booklet, it has got additional reading in, like poetry and production notes and stuff like that, but that's sort of contained within the album sleeves. But this one has come with its own standalone booklet. This will no doubt have some phenomenal photos in it. I mean, yeah, there's an iconic one to begin with of Pete Saville, Tony Wilson and Alan Erasmus, 3 of the 5 original founders of Factory Records. I won't go through all these pages. There's an essay by Paul Morley. Paul Morley, the journalist and broadcaster who's been associated with Factory ever since its beginnings, really. There's a picture of Martin Hannant in the studio. I'm not sure who he's with. Well, he's with Tony Wilson there on the other page. I can't go through all these pages with you. It's not a massive booklet, but it's big enough, and it's going through, I think, pretty much every record, or every album, certainly, that was ever released on Factory by the look of it. Could be a case of showing every track that's on the box set, actually, looking at it. Yeah, it will be. It's like showing the original single and album sleeves for whatever tracks are included on this set. So this is a black vinyl set. There's Rob Gretton, by the way. This also came out in a limited silver vinyl format as well. Just a few small notes at the back there. I really like this booklet. I'm going to enjoy reading that as I'm listening to this later on. There was also a silver vinyl set, but that was limited to about 500 pressings, I think. I won't pay the money that's going for on the aftermarket. Just having this on black vinyl is fine. So we'll get to the records now. So presumably these will be in the correct order, as this box has never been opened before. So here's the first disc here, come in this sort of standardised Factory logo, Factory poster tribute sleeve here, but in kind of like a sky blue. I think I'm going to have to get my glasses on to read everything that's on these discs, actually. Disc 1 covers 1978 to 1979, and it's got Joy Division Digital, Cabaret Voltaire, Bader Meinhof, A Certain Ratio, All Night Party, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Darks, Electricity, the Factory version, Joy Division, She's Lost Control, The Distractions, Time Goes By So Slow. And on side 2 is Joy Division Transmission, the Girotti Column, Sketch for Summer, Exodus, English Black Boys, Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart, an absolute Stonewall classic, and A Certain Ratio, Shack Up. So I'll show you one of the discs. These are all going to look presumably very similar. They'll have different colour centre labels corresponding to the sleeves, obviously. So this one is a sort of light or sky blue centre label. But there you go, it is, as you can see, standard black vinyl. I think this box set originally came out on CD only back in the late 2000s, but got a re-release on vinyl for the first time for Factory's 40th anniversary. So there you go, that's just one of the discs. I won't go through and show you all the discs themselves, but I will read out some more of what's in this amazing set. So here's disc number 2 with sides 3 to 4. Side 3 covers 1980 to 81 with section 25, Girls Don't Count. I think I've got that on a different CD compilation, and I do like that track. Crawling Chaos and Sex Machine, A Certain Ratio, Flight, The Names, Night Shift. So it's not just New Order and Joy Division, although having said that, side 4, which it covers 1981, has New Order, the original version of Ceremony, Mini Pops, which I believe are a Dutch band signed to the label, with Dolphin Spurt, John Dowie, It's Hard to Be an Egg, okay, Crispy Ambulance, one of the greatest band names of all time, with Death, and Section 25, Dirty Disco. And that was, of course, a nice green sleeve. So we move on to this. Now, this is a proper Factory yellow. This will be the same sort of colour that the original Factory poster was mostly in. Just an iconic kind of colour for the Factory label and the associated projects, such as the Hacienda, for example. Side 5 from 1981 still, so there's a lot to cover in that year. New Order, Everything's Gone Green. Tunnel Vision, Watching the Hydroplanes. The Durutti Column, Messidor, and the LP version of Knife Slits Water by a Certain Ratio. And on side 6, 1982, Royal Family and the Poor, Art on 45, Swamp Children, Taste What's Rhythm, and Temptation by New Order. Another iconic single from my favourite band. A lot of this stuff I've never owned anywhere. Much as I am a big Factory Records nerd, it's really only New Order and Joy Division and their related bands, with a couple of other exceptions, that I've ever collected. I've got a Happy Mondays album that I bought when it became a HMV exclusive a couple of years or so back. So next we go on to an orange sleeve here. You kind of know what you're getting now. It's the same sort of design every time. No doubt this whole package was designed by Peter Saville, I would have assumed. Side 7, 82 to 83, 52nd Street, Cool as Ice. That's something else I think I've got on the B Music Factory compilation on CD. That is a brilliant compilation, by the way. New Order presents B Music. If you don't have that, I urge you to look it up. It's basically got a load of old Factory recordings, but all of them were produced and or had involved in some way members of New Order, and it's a phenomenal compilation, one of my favourites, that. And also on that side, New Order Blue Monday. And side 8, Cabaret Voltaire, the John Roby remix of Yashar, Quando Quango with Love Tempo, and The Wake with Talk About the Past. I think we're about halfway through now with the discs. Disc number 5, I think this will be now, or side 9, from 83 to 84, New Order Confusion, Marcel King, Reach for Love. That is a fantastic single that really deserved to do a lot better than it did. Marcel King, he was like a soul singer at a very young age in the 70s. And he was on a bit of a comeback on Factory a decade later, and Reach for Love is just a really good song. I think it would have been Bernard Sumner who produced that, actually. And the Looking from a Hilltop brackets megamix from section 25 rounds out side 9. Side 10, 84 to 85, the Stockholm Monsters, All at Once, Life with Tell Me, good track, that's on the B Music compilation. The Rutty Column, Without Mercy, brackets duet, James, who went on to bigger and better things really after they left Factory later on in the 80s. They of course were famous for tracks like Sit Down. Their Hymn from a Village is on here. And rounding out side 10 is Kalima and Trickery. So we move on to the 6th disc, inside a bright, shocking pink sleeve. And this one covers on side 11, 1985 to 87, A Certain Ratio, Sounds Like Something Dirty, Quando Quango Genius, the first appearance in this set of Happy Mondays with their early track Freaky Dancing, and Meow, When It All Comes Down. And side 12, also covering 1987, Railway Children Brighter, Biting Tongues Compressor, New Order True Faith, a big hit for New Order in 87, and Happy Mondays 24-Hour Party People. We've got another, I think this will be a slightly darker pink. Yeah, this is more like a sort of violet, maybe leaning towards purple, I think. I'm not sure how different it'll look to the previous sleeve, but it is a different sleeve, a different disc, I assure you. Side 13, 1988 to 89, New Order Fine Time, Happy Mondays WFL, stands for Rope for Luck, brackets Think About the Future, and Revenge, which was Peter Hook's original spin-off band from New Order, with 7 Reasons. Side 14, oldies I'm very familiar with, the club mix of Happy Mondays Hallelujah, Electronics Getting Away With It, Happy Mondays Step On, and Northside Shall We Take a Trip. Moving on to the final disc here, as Factory enters its decline and its terminal years, if you will. This sort of more darker green than the previous green sleeve that we saw. And side 15 covers 1990 to 91, England New Order, World in Motion, a #1 single. Factory Records only #1, although technically it was a joint release with MCA Records, I think, because Factory on their own didn't have the facilities or the money basically to promote the official England World Cup song, so they had to work with a major label on that one. Happy Mondays, Kinky Afro, the Durruti Column, Home, and the DNA remix of Get the Message by Electronic. And finally, Side 16, 1991 to 92. 92, of course, was when Factory Records, the original incarnation, went bankrupt and closed its doors. The brilliant Take 5 by Northside, that's one of my favourite singles of that period in the early 90s. Kath Carroll, Moves Like You remix, another one of my very favourites. Tasty Fish by the other two of course being Stephen and Gillian from New Order. And finishing off the box set is the Lion Rock remix of Happy Mondays, Sunshine and Love. So there we have it. That's all 8 discs and all the tracks on it, loads to listen to, obviously. Right, bear with me while I put all these records back. Oh, by the way, the box just kind of looks how the lid looks with the black card at the bottom. Maybe not the most premium box set ever, but I still think for the price I paid, terrific value really. And just the design of it is nice, and it's that sort of classic Factory kind of design that I really like. And you know, you're getting 8 records here, and a lot of stuff that I've got already. New Order, obviously, I own all those tracks multiple times across different albums and singles, etc. I just think this is a really lovely collector's piece. Also, I better not forget to put this booklet back in as well. Really happy to have that. And that's the Factory Communications 1978 to 1992 8-disc LP box set. Really happy to have picked that up. I'm glad that I've waited all this time. I think if I'd bought this when it originally came out at the full price, I would have liked it, I would have been happy. But I think I'm happier that I've just waited, because I found this to be a purchase, something that's tempted me. And like I said, a combination of it being Factory's 45th anniversary and also seeing Rob Walker show this on Instagram really sort of tempted me to finally pull the trigger on it. But I'm glad that I found it for an even better price than what Dig Music was selling it in their current Factory Records sale. So thank you all for watching another box set unboxed here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed it, and I want to say special thanks as always to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. Please see a load of referral links, including ones for HMV and Urban Jungle Contents Insurance, down in the description text box, where also you can find my Facebook group and also a link to my Patreon to help support the work I do on this channel. I'm gonna go now. Oh yes, need to get cracking into this beauty here. A really nice set. If you've got even a passing interest in Factory Records, and me, I can be really nerdy about it. I've got books, obviously I've got everything New Order have done, everything all their related spin-offs have ever done, you know, Other Two, Revenge, Monaco, Electronic, they go on and on. I'm a big nerd for all this sort of thing, and if you're more casual or you just want to dip your toe in, then yeah, there is cheaper things to get than this, but I think £75 if you're a record collector. I saw others that were going for similar prices on eBay, and I don't even think 85 or a bit over 85 or whatever it is at Dig Music is that bad either. So I do recommend trying to pick this up on a discount if you can. But I'm going to go and listen to that now, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next box set unboxing and record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!